Hello, everybody. Crystal K here with another episode. This is actually a how-to video. Uh, if y'all like this content, I don't know how many how-to videos I'm gonna do. I debated about how I'm gonna do this how-to video because there's three things that are gonna be in this. One, I'm gonna show you how to change the gamma of your Minecraft. I've used Curseforge for my Minecraft needs always, so that's how it's going to be done through Curseforge. Whenever you download a new mod pack, whenever anything like that. Let me go back to the overview. Uh, so how do I want to? This is going to be a how-to video. I'm going to show you how to change your gamma so you're always full brightness. I'm going to show y'all how to change the config files specifically for Vault Hunter, but you can apply it to any Curseforge thing and kind of mess around with it. And then three, I'm going to show y'all how to add new mods on top of how to edit Project E's EMC to better fit your needs. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and start with the first part. So, this goes for both of them. Okay? If you need to change any file, whether it be the gamma file or config file, you're going to hit these three dots and then you'll open folder. Okay? If you're not using Curseforge, you'll have to go through other means to get to it. The config file, or the not config file, the gamma, these options right here. It would be these options here. You'll open them up as a text file. Let me pull the text file over to where y'all can actually see it. Alright, and then you would scroll down to where it says gamma. Normally, it's somewhere in between 0 and 1. Change it to, I believe it's anything above 20, but I always put it up to 50 to 52. And then it will set your gamma to be perfect. Then you just save, and you're good on that end. Alright. Now, for the what you're actually coming from, the config file. This is how you would change your vault timer and other details. You go to config. Alright, and this is where all the config files for all of the mods are. Okay. Now y'all see some .json files. Okay. They have this little red icon. For me, I use a program called CodeWriter because I do work and do know a little bit about code. You don't need that. You can use it with just normal Notepad, and I will show you all that. So, for what specifically we're looking for, you would go to the vault. Okay, and then you would go all the way down, and then in the V section, there will be a vault time. Item. Vault timer right here. I double clicked on it, but that's with me opening the code. So to open it up for your notepad, you would right click it, give it a moment, and then you would open with, and then you would go with notepad. More apps, notepad. And then it'll open up like this, and then you can change the time. I honestly couldn't tell y'all what unit this actually is. I don't know if this is 30,000 ticks, 30,000 seconds. I'll be perfectly honest with y'all guys. I don't fully know. I believe it's in seconds. Let me figure that out real quick, because no, not task manager. I opened up the wrong thing. My calculator. Divided by 60, 500. Yeah, so it's not seconds. So I honestly don't know. Uh, so I'm not 100% sure the time. So you'll have to kind of mess around with that. Maybe like a tenth of a second or something along those lines. I don't know. But there is that. Now, time is not the only thing you can mess with. If you really wanted to, you can go in and mess with anything here, right? Now, I do recommend being a bit careful when you're messing around with stuff, but like, let's say research groups, right? Or researchers pre-knowledge, right? Click on this. I'm gonna open up a code just because it's how I like it, but it would just be a notepad file for y'all, unless y'all have CodeWriter as well. But you can read through here simple backpacks, restrictions, blocking on activity, usability, craftability, habitability, hitability, you know, the names, the costs. You can change, like, oh, I don't want the cost to be 2, I want the cost to be 5. Boom. You can change it and then the cost will change for you. Everything like that. Waystones. If you want to like have it almost right off the bat, you can set the cost as 0. So you can get right away, you know, everything that you wanted to mess with and more. And you can do that with any and everything on here. As long as you save the file afterwards and you don't mess it up too bad, you should be good. Like, where's, I just saw it, black market. Let's open up the black market real quick. Just so I can show y'all another one, right? Reset in hours, reset minutes, so I could set to 0 hours, 10 minutes. It resets every 10 minutes. If I wanted to, and things along those lines. And just everything, anything, everything you can mess with. Now, I do recommend if you go into a file that you're not 100% sure what you're messing with, making a backup of it and then coming back for it. And again, it's not just, you know, default. You can do this with any and all mods in it that have a config file. Like, what's a good example? They have vein miner in here, right? I think the vein miner's through the thing, but I'm not 100% sure. Because normal vein miner has its own file. Because you can mess with the old and new versions of vein miner to configure them to be better or worse. And that's just something you can do. You know, mess with the pipes, quark commands, everything. You can mess with anything and everything. Some of it you can mess with more than others. Some of it is a bit more harder to mess with. But like I said, you can mess with anything and everything. Now, going back to how to add mods to this. Whenever you download a mod pack through Curseforge, this is the like major thing, right? Let's say I install all the mods, I install all of this. When you go to your mod packs, okay, this is one I've already edited so I can do this. Okay, you'll see it like this. Okay, you know, when you last release, how long ago since you last played, all that. Okay, you won't see anything right here. Okay, and that's by design by the mod packs. Now, if you made your own mod pack, if you went back and made your own mod pack, you'll see something here. But if you need to add a mod to this, right, whether it be client side, whether it be Project E, like I'm about to show y'all, anything along those lines, you'll click these 3 dots right here. Once you hit these 3 dots, you'll go down to Profile Options, and in Content Management, you'll hit Allow Content Management for this profile. And then once you've done that, you'll see this little piece right here. Okay, this little jigsaw piece. Add more content. Once you click that, it will load up for you, and then you can add any mod or update any mod you want to. Like if I wanted to update the JEI, I could. If I wanted to, you know, install, let's say, 3D animation library. Boom, I can add that and have the 3D animation library. You can sort by different things, feature, popularity, all that. Or in this case, if we're looking for something specific, you can type in, I don't recommend typing it in all the way a lot of times. Like, I'm looking for Project E, but I'm going to type in just Project, because if I type in Project E, it may not show up. This time it did, but sometimes it won't. Or let's say you think it's spelled this way, but it's all as one. Well, now Project E doesn't show up. So you kind of have to start it, but and then kind of look for it. Project MMO, and all the different projects, but we're starting with Project E, which we will install real quick. Alright, it is installed. Okay, and then you can go back to your mod packs, go back to it, and then boom, when you go to here, you can go through mods and see that Project E, it's way down here, Project E is now active and installed. And let's say you downloaded it, okay, but you're not 100% sure if you want to play with it or not. You can always deactivate it by clicking this, or uninstall it by hitting the delete action. Now, for the last thing, okay, because one, y'all want to see if it actually works or not, but two, to make sure that you have the EMC value. Now, this last part is definitely a how-to on Project E in particular, and not just anything else. Up until now, I've given you kind of a general idea of how to work with any mods and stuff like that. Different mods you will integrate into your mod packs differently. Okay, Project E has the EMC value, and let me launch it. Once I am launched in a single player world, I'll come back to y'all and I will continue. But I'll go ahead and show y'all what it means to have Project E and how to modify it and things along those lines. So I will be back in a moment. All right. Uh, I'm having some trouble with my OBS, but there we go. So once my game loads again. Okay. So now that you have Project E, here is the general idea of how to add. I'm in creative mode. I went ahead and got a chest down with some example pieces and stuff like that. Alright. Now I'm going to show y'all. I need to grab one. Da, 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 Where is the... Okay. Now, here is a general idea of Project E and how to set EMC values. Now, as you can see here, none of these have EMC values. Not a one. Now, I will tell you all this. Okay, when you're setting up EMC values, you don't have to be in creative mode. All you have to do is have the ability, either with cheats on or turn on cheats by turning your game to a LAN game. But that being said, there's a couple things y'all should be aware of. Whenever you're making EMC value for something, you want it to be the general rarity of the item. If you make it too low, then you can get an abundance of them super easily and all this. If you make it too high, then you'll have, buttloads of EMC super quickly because you just mined a bunch of a very common material and made EMC value, a couple thousand. So there is a fine balance for my personal game, what I did is I took a soul shard, took the soul value of that, okay, and did, well, that's a soul value of 1, and anything with a soul value, let's say, this is soul value of 11. Okay, I took soul shard and made it 128. I did this based off of the EMC value of some other things. And then, well, this is soul value of 11, so the game sees this 11 times 11 of these worth. So I made that, 11 times 128, and made that the value. And then cosmetic iron, I use the steel because steel is made with the carbon. Actually, let me pull that up. I can spell, say my behind. This has a soul value of 48. It's used to compress carbons, which is we're not going to do it here, but it's, to make it, you need 2 compressed carbon, each are worth 18. That gives you 12 left over. Divide, 4, that's 3. So you have, a general value of 3 for the steel. Okay. Now I'm going to do it a little bit different here, but to give you an idea. Now, you don't have to go in and, let's say, like the bounty table, I don't have to go in and input a value for, right? Okay. If I have, okay, cosmetic iron ink, well, that'll be a very good example of what I'm going to be talking about, right? Cosmetic iron ingot, 9 of those make a iron ingot, 9 of, or nugget, my bad, 5 the nugget, 9 of the nuggets make ingot, 9 ingots makes a block, and essence plus the ingots plus a loom table makes a bounty table, right? So if I want the EMC value for a bounty table, I could go in and put in the EMC value of it itself. But instead, let's go ahead and also these errors, I had some errors running this. I had messed with some iron furnace stuff to see if it worked. As you all see, it didn't work. The config file for iron furnaces had to be replaced. This is what happens if you don't fully know what you're doing and you mess with something. Messed up a script, the game re-download, the config files, basics. This is just a tester mod pack. I always have the mod pack for us fully set out, so it's no big deal. But Project E, all one word, space, EMC, or is it set E? It's set EMC. How about set EMC space, and then it's whatever you're holding in your hand. Okay, so I want the essence to have EMC value of, let's say, 11. Now you can space put in the name of what you want, but you don't have to. Alright, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set this EMC value as 1. Okay, this is just for pure example purposes and stuff like this. Now, when you first do it, as you can see, nothing changes. You'll have to slash reload. Alright, and it will take a little bit. Especially if you're doing this with Vault Hunter. Vault Hunter actually has slash reload do 3 different types of reloading. So it's gonna be a good moment before we can do anything. I won't even I'll move around fully just yet. Alright, that should be the first thing done reloading, and it'll take a moment. But I'm gonna show you the absolute beauty of Project E and something that they do with the EMC values and stuff like this. Now, I don't know if this does it for all versions. I know it does it for most, if not all versions. I've never played with Project E in anything lower than 1.8. So, as far as I remember, okay. And I know as far as back as 1.8, you could do this. So this is a good way to kind of mess around with EMC values you want to mess around with and stuff like this. Still not yet. It takes a good moment. There we go. It's starting to reload again. And then first reload's done. Craft Trika, so reload that. And then, oop, not yet. Don't be, worried if it takes a little bit. Like that, it will. And, I think it's loading. Yeah. There we go. Now, the more items you have in the mod pack as well, the longer it will take. As you can see right now, it's kind of lagging. And that's because it's still reloading everything. But basically what Project E will do is once you set the EMC for something, it will kind of communicate with itself and figure out the EMC for things it builds. So, EMC value for the Vault Essence is 11 now. Okay. Mag Iron is 1. Those are the only two we set. But now you can see, because Mag Iron Ingots, now EMC value of 9. Because it says, oh, well, it takes 9 nuggets to make an ingot, so it should be that. And since you can deconstruct a ingot back into a nugget, it should be exactly the same. Mag Iron block should be 81 because it is 9 ingots. And since you can go back and forth, it should be the same. Now, bounty table. Okay, bounty table. You got 11 here. Okay, and then you got these 9 plus these 40. Now, because you can't go back and forth. Now, it may have done it the same here. Give me just a second, because... Okay, so let's do this as simply as possible. Pull up the calculator again. Because the reason I'm showing on this is because sometimes the value won't be exact. Okay, it'll be very close. Okay, but sometimes the EMC mods or mod pack, Project E in particular, will not want you to have the exact value. Okay, it will actually make it a little bit less. So 40 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. Nope. Okay, so for this one, it did. It was 107. But for some values, it won't. So if you make certain values and it doesn't come out exactly right, it is just a balancing mechanic that they have. The one I use as an example, as you'll see in my actual playthrough, is Chromatic Steel. Chromatic Steel, once made, is actually a little bit less than what the value should be. And that could be because it has to divide up to 9 for the ingots and be, equal without being able to create, things. But that it shouldn't be too big. It's not that big of an issue. It's not by a whole lot. It's just something that is done in the game. Now, like I said, you just have to do the basic stuff. Okay, so you don't have to go in and add config files to everything. And while you're playing, now let's say this is something a lot of people don't know, so I'm gonna go ahead and teach y'all a little trick. Let's say you make a single player world, right, and you don't allow cheats. Okay, you're like, I don't want to cheat or anything like that. But you come across something that, oh, well, this should have EMC value, or I set this EMC value to this, but after playing more and realizing that, oh, this is actually a lot rarer than I originally thought, the EMC value should be higher, or it's a lot, more common than I thought, and the EMC value should be lower and stuff like that. Or just you need to add an item off the fly, but you're in a survival setting. You don't have cheats. Just to kind of give y'all a little heads up, this thing y'all can do. You hit escape, you can open the land, allow cheats, and as soon as you click start land world, okay, unless someone's on your network playing the same mod pack as you, no one can join your world still. But you can do this and start land world, and then boom, you can start using cheats. This is something that you can do on any survival world that, not allow cheats, stuff like that. Just saying so y'all know, I don't recommend this. You go so y'all can go into creative mode or stuff like this. And mind you, if you're playing by yourself and you're like, I really want this item, I'm tired of trying to grind for it, and you want to add some mods to your mod pack or anything along those lines, I personally never seen an issue with it. Like that's just me, right? If you want to go into creative mode and change your experience that way, or you want to add a mod to your mod pack, that's fine. I did it for the Vault Hunter City. I asked y'all to see if y'all wanted me to or not. And like I said, as of recording this, I believe there's 3 votes. I have actually checked today. I've recorded the series first episode yesterday. Or day before yesterday, actually. But it's all up to you how you want to play and stuff like that. That's just a way for you to go into it. And like I said, boom, you can set the basic, and then it will go up. And if you have everything to make something, then boom, it immediately has an EMC value too. So that's just something for y'all to keep in mind. How you mess around with your EMC stuff is completely up to you. And all in all, that's just something I want to kind of give you an idea about and show y'all. But either way, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this how-to video. I hope this has been informative for y'all and y'all enjoy this. Have a wonderful day. If y'all like this content and want to see me play some Vault Hunter, don't be afraid to subscribe or leave a like on this video. It really does mean a lot to me. So I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.